Hey everybody, it's Mike and welcome to Chip Damage. And today we are talking about what is on the tips of everybody's tongue in the gaming world. We are talking about the Nintendo Direct presentation at E3 2021. Yes, so even if you did not catch the event as it went live, you've probably heard the news, you've probably felt the aftershocks from it because hey, it was a pretty big event. In fact, I'd say right off the bat that it was the best event, in my opinion, that I saw at this E3. This E3 really wasn't doing it for me in a lot of ways, and I'll go over those other presentations and some other videos, and if you haven't seen my prior video on the Square Enix press event, please check that out. But Nintendo really brought it. They brought some of the big guns and had something for everyone in my book, and that's what we're going to talk about now. But just to say that, I made quite a few predictions and had a few hopes for this direct, and not many, if any of them, came true. And I still walked away feeling pretty good after watching it. So let's talk about those hopes and dreams first, shall we? Like I said, if you haven't seen my prior video where I talk about my predictions and hopes for E3, please check that out. But as kind of a summary, what I was kind of hoping to see this E3 from Nintendo, I listed as number one, Bayonetta 3. Yeah, let's get that out of the way. Bayonetta 3 is my most anticipated game, I don't know, ever. Like Bayonetta 1 and 2 are some of my favorite games of all time. It's been 3.5 years since Bayonetta 3 has been announced, and yeah, we still haven't heard anything about it. We get the occasional news from Hideki Kamiya that it's still being made, and yeah, that's great. It still exists. It's not canceled, but man, would I sure like to see that game. But hopefully later this year. I mean, the longer, I guess, the better. They're not rushing the development, that's for sure. Maybe they're stretching themselves thin with Babylon's Fall. I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to that. But yeah, no Bayonetta 3. That is one downer. The next kind of hope that I wanted was something for the Metroid Prime series. So this was kind of a hit and a miss. So no, there was no Metroid Prime 4 trailer or release date, but we did get confirmation that it's still being made. Just like with Bayonetta 3, we get that tidbit of news every now and then from Nintendo, and that's great. It's still being made. Take your time, the longer the better. Sadly, no Metroid Prime trilogy on Switch. I'd really like that on a nice, concise collection, considering that, you have to have a Wii or Wii U to play the Metroid Prime games, or, a GameCube. And that's not so easy anymore. It'd be nice to have it on one nice, concise collection on Switch, but hey, maybe later. There's no deconfirmation of that. And a couple of other rumors and hopes that I had heard and wanted was that there was a new Donkey Kong coming out from the makers of Mario Odyssey. That didn't happen. No, not Donkey Kong love at all at this E3, but hey, Donkey Kong fans, we're used to waiting long periods of time between games, but usually when it comes out, it's worth it. I'm waiting on Donkey Konga 3 myself. My Donkey Konga fans, let's hear some comments out there, all right? But yeah, no big 3D platformer, and that kind of gets out of the way the rumors and kind of predictions that I had. I had some impossible hopes, the Mother 3s or the Super Mario Galaxy 3s, but I didn't really expect to see those. But now we're moving on to what we did get. Let's move on to what they announced, and I'll do this in somewhat of a chronological order just to keep track of it. First thing they showed, I think they started strong. They showed Kazuya Mishima for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Not something I expected, not something I predicted, but that's pretty cool. So yeah, I am a Tekken fan. I am particularly a big fan of Tekken 7, and Tekken is if I'm not mistaken, the highest selling fighting game franchise as a series of all time. Like Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest selling single title, but I think as a series, Tekken is still the highest selling. It's been around forever. It's a PlayStation icon still to this day. I mean, it's on multiple consoles, but Tekken is strongly associated with PlayStation. And Smash doesn't have a 3D fighting game rep like you have Ken and Ryu for Street Fighter with Capcom, and you have Terry Bogard with King of Fighters / Fatal Fury, with SNK. But like Namco themselves, who developed the game, only have one rep, and that is Pac-Man. So it's very odd that they only had that one rep. So it's cool that they get to rep both Namco and 3D fighting games as a whole with Kazuya, and I think he looked just awesome. I can't wait to see some 10-hit combos. I think it was one of the funniest trailers, how he's throwing the Nintendo characters off the volcano cliff, and I really dug the vibe I got from it, seeing Devil Kazuya just doing that final smash. Not something I predicted, not something that I think was on a lot of people's radar, but a good pick. I think he fits. Can't wait to try him out. Let me know, by the way, there's only one character left. Who do you people want to see? I have my own hopes. I've always wanted like Ryu Hayabusa or Dr. Eggman or, Dante to kind of be in Smash. And now we only have, I believe, one person left. Who do you want that last Smash rep to be? Do you care? Do you not care? Please, let's hear some dreams. Those are always fun. But, of course, I'll be skipping some of the minor ones, announcements that, didn't really interest me, like the Life is Strange collection. Great games, not for me, Just Dance, blah, blah, blah. We're not really going to be talking about those. Something I do want to talk about, though, is the Monkey Ball collection. Monkey Ball doesn't get enough credit. That's a fun little series that is often forgotten by Sega. Sega forgets a lot of their series. But I'm glad that they're getting a collection of Super Monkey Ball 1, 2, and Deluxe all on Switch. Those are fun little games. I'll probably be picking that up. Let me know if you're a Monkey Ball fan down in the comments below. Mario Party Superstars. This is very cool. So me, myself, I am a fan of the older Mario Parties, particularly the N64 and some of the earlier GameCube ones. Like Mario Party 2 may be my favorite. But those games aren't so easy to get your hands on or, physically or digitally. Like you can download some of the older Mario Party games, like on the Nintendo Wii U, but like Mario Party 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, those are on GameCube, those are getting pricey. So Mario Party Superstars might alleviate that a little bit. So what it is a kind of remake of Mario Party 1, like stage-wise, with games from, the mini games from multiple Mario Party games of yesteryear, and that's just awesome. Super Mario Party, which was released, I think, in 2018, the latest one, I guess it's Mario Party 11, just didn't do it for me. Like, it was fine. It was, like, better than Mario Party 9 and 10, but it was just kind of boring. Like, I can't put my finger on it, but it didn't have, like, I don't know. What's that secret sauce of the older Mario Parties? Maybe the jank. Like, some of those older games are just janky and dumb and unbalanced, and I think that's, like, kind of the thrill of Mario Party. Like, yeah, there's some games of skill, but like the games of luck thrown in there and randomness are really what make it. And that's what I kind of want to see in this. Like, I will definitely be checking this out. Old Mario Party games with Mario Party 1 maps. Like, it's cool. I wonder if they're going to pre-issue those gloves so that we don't burn a hole in our hands while spinning the Switch joystick like they did back on the N64. I'm curious about that minigame. But yeah, Mario Superstars, moving on, but still, got my eyes on that one. The big announcement of the day, maybe the big announcement of E3 is a new Metroid game. Not the one we were expecting, not Metroid Prime 4. We are getting Metroid 5, Metroid Dread, the continuation of Metroid Fusion. Like, that is incredible. That is simply like something that no one expected, no one saw. Everyone had their eyes focused on Prime. And Metroid Fusion, I believe, was Metroid 4. Metroid 1's Metroid 1, Super Metroid's Metroid 2. They always like kind of keep the number kind of going with that. And just to see that them continuing with a 2.5D Metroid again. Like, yes, a few years ago we got Samus Returns, but that was on 3DS. And like there was no rumblings or kind of hints of a new 2D Metroid, but not one especially that's not a remake. Like, they said it in the presentation. It's been like 19 years since we got a Metroid that wasn't a 2D Metroid that wasn't a remake or callback or prequel. Like, no, this is the furthering of the universe of Metroid. And Metroid is a series I didn't get into when I was younger, but I got into in recent years, and really solid. I'm very excited for this. Can't wait to see. I know there's a lot of people very excited about this. Definitely going to try to get my hands on those amiibos. Good luck. Those are going to be hard to get. But yeah, that was the sucker punch. That was the jolt that E3 needed, that this presentation really needed to put it above and beyond. Metroid, needs the love, needs more respect. It looks like it's finally getting that with not only Prime in development, but this new game. Gonna check this out. Put this presentation over the top. But let's move on. Another game got my eye on, Cruisin' Blast, that racing game from the Cruisin' series. Not often coming to console, just a wacky racer. We need more wacky racers. Mario Party 8 is pretty damn old, so yeah, I'm looking forward to some fun races with that. You got Mario Golf. You got Mario Golf in New Donk City. You got that stage. That looks like fun. Gonna be checking that out. Mario Golf. I'm glad to see some wackier Mario sports games kind of come out and not be so like phoned in like that Mario Party Tennis on Wii U. Like, no, the new Mario Tennis was pretty good, so I'm looking forward to Mario Golf. Definitely got my eyes on that. And then we got more Monster Hunter. Listen, I go over it in my Capcom video, but Monster Hunter is, Capcom's biggest game, and it's a great game adored by many fans the world over, but Monster Hunter is just not my thing. It's not a series with character, and I know that, like, the new Monster Hunter games are kind of, like, trying to make it more like a traditional RPG if you're not into the main series, but, not for me, but I know that many people are happy for this game. Hey, it looks wonderful, so yeah, new Monster Hunter. But what I am happy for is the WarioWare Get It Together. Yeah. So like I said, I love the jankiness of old Mario Party games, and nothing's jankier in many ways than the old WarioWare games. Like that they didn't have a Nintendo feel. Like they were deep cut weird, and I love that about the old WarioWare games. Just Wario games in general. When Wario was on a game, I check it out and usually have a good time. And to see them bringing it back after quite a few years since that like Game & Wario, which really wasn't like a traditional WarioWare game back on Wii U. Like this is pretty cool. I will be getting this. I love when Nintendo just like does like little cheaper, like not everything needs to be Fire Emblem, Mario, or Zelda. Like just something fun, but not like boring like 1-2 Switch or like Wii Sports. Like it has Nintendo flair, but maybe not necessarily like the safety wheels or training wheels that other Nintendo games have. Like, yeah, so WarioWare, right up my alley. We'll be getting that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then we are moving on to my favorite announcement of the entire presentation. That is Shin Megami Tensei 5. When this game was announced back in 2016 or early 2017, I want to say, this was one of the main reasons, along with the announcement of Bayonetta 3, that I wanted a Switch. So, back in the PS2 days, back 2006, I'm dating myself, I'm in my mid-teens, late teens, and I was surrounded by people who were really getting into Persona 3. That's when Shin Megami blew up. Persona 3 is an excellent game. But the game that it kind of led me to that I liked way, way more is a game that was just recently re-released. That was Shin Megami Tensei 3, kind of the mainline Shin Megami games. And that game I loved. I just recently rebought the remaster of Nocturne, and I'm going through that and getting my ass handed to me because that's what Nocturne does, but I loved it. And then Shin Megami 4, the 3DS exclusive, was my favorite 3DS RPG. Maybe my favorite 3DS game. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Fire Emblem Awakening. Great game, but Shin Megami Tensei 4 was just way more up my alley. I put a lot of time into that game, and it was weird that it was kind of relegated to like a 3DS while like Persona, the spin-off series, was on PS4. But regardless, now Shin Megami Tensei 5 is back on consoles. Yes, Switch, not like the most powerful consoles, but still a console, and it looks excellent. I love the vibe of the mainline Shin Megami games. Like it is more focused on like biblical themes, like demons, monsters from other mythologies, with less focus on like kind of the social school element. Like you're always like a student, but there's not so much like social links. It's more like straight choices. Like this one's on the chaos path, this friend's on the order path. Who will you choose? Will you choose neither? It's just like a creepier, darker, or more difficult game. And I love Persona, but mainline Shin Megami is definitely more up my alley, and I'm very excited for 5 coming out this October. Day 1, physical purchase. Super excited. Can't wait to get my ass handed to me in that game as well. Let me know, by the way, my Shin Megami fans out there. What's your favorite like Shin Megami game that isn't Persona? Like Persona's great, but like, are you a Raido Kuzunoha fan? Are you a Digital Devil Saga fan? Are you a Soul Hackers fan or whatever? I want to hear some Shin Megami love out there. Please let me know. But yes, gonna be picking that up day 1. And a little surprise, Fatal Frame 4 coming to Switch, and I later found out in the day, not just Switch, but PS5 and Xbox One. And this is a bit of a surprise because I was just about to finally buy this on Wii U. I have not played this game yet, but I love Fatal Frame 1, 2, and 3. So like my finger was on the purchase section for the Wii U because, hey, the Wii U eShop is going to close down sooner or later, and I kind of pick up more games for it as time goes on. And Fatal Frame was one of those games. I'm like, this is digital only in the US. Should get this now. It's might be my only chance. But I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't because now I can get it on the newer consoles. I am curious, though, if it will lose any functionality because I know that the gamepad was used during that game. So I'm kind of thinking I may still get that Wii U version. But I can at least play it on the PS4 or Switch now, get trophies or take it on the go depending on what my mood is. But yeah, Fatal Frame 4, I've heard very mixed things. Some people either love this game or they're kind of like, it's kind of meh. But I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm definitely going to pick it up. Fatal Frame 4. And last thing I want to go over, the last thing that I was interested in this presentation was Advance Wars 1 and 2 rebooted. I myself have yet to play Advance Wars. I have it downloaded on my Wii U. It was on my queue of games to play. But I've heard so many amazing things from close friends of mine of how great this series was and that they expected nothing of it in the future. Like it was just dead because it's been dead so many years. And now we are getting a from the ground up remake of 1 and 2 on the Switch with new art style together, bundled. And I'm in. I'm going to jump into Advance Wars for the first time with this. I hope it lives up to expectations. I have a couple friends that are just like exploding in joy over this. So yeah, I am excited for Advance Wars. And barring a few other minor announcements, they ended the show with kind of a trio of Zelda announcements. They talked about some DLC for Hyrule Warriors 2 or, Age of Calamity. Love that game. Still needs a lot more content to kind of catch up to the original Hyrule Warriors. I wonder if that'll ever happen, because I love the first Hyrule Warriors just because of by the time that game finally released on Switch, the bonkers amount of content it had. But yeah, Hyrule Warriors DLC. Talked about Skyward Sword, which comes out on my birthday, the HD remaster of Skyward Sword, a Zelda game that I have never touched. I've never actually had the chance to sit down and play Skyward Sword, and I've heard, yet again, some people love it, some people hate it, but this will be the best way for me to play that game. So I might check that out. I'll see. That time of year is going to get pretty busy for me if I'll be able to squeeze in some Skyward Sword. And then they finally showed off footage of Breath of the Wild 2, which, man, that's a whiles off. They say 2022, but they didn't even give you a late, early, mid, whatever. My feeling is, just like with Breath of the Wild 1, that may get pushed even further than that. But hey, as someone who's not the biggest Zelda fan in the world, it was very visually appealing. Like, just what I saw, Link's hair blowing in the wind, and like the teleportation system, and just kind of the general vibe of the game. It looks like an upgraded Breath of the Wild, which had a pretty great art style. So for my Zelda fans out there, good on you. Let me know what you guys think of that for Breath of the Wild 2. Are you happy that it's coming out at all? Are you mad that it's a year away? Let me know. What are your Zelda thoughts out there? Like I said, I like Zelda, but I'm not the biggest Zelda fan. My favorite's Wind Waker HD. Yes, particularly the HD version of Wind Waker is my favorite Zelda game. That's what I want to come to Switch. More people need to replay Wind Waker with the Swift Sail and being able to change directions on a whim. That really greatly enhances that game. But yeah, they ended the show with that, and geez, that's a lot. I didn't cover everything. I'm sorry if I missed some of your favorites. Please shout out what your favorites were in the comments below. But that was a hell of a presentation. For 40 minutes, they squeezed a lot in. And they really, for me, saved this E3. Like later on in the day, Bandai Namco did a presentation that was like one game, and it wasn't really nothing. Like no one even watched it. So Nintendo kind of closed the show in a way and really saved this E3. I went over it in past videos, and I have a few more videos to make about E3, but it really was a disappointing year in a lot of ways. But Nintendo just kind of hyped me back up and reminded me why I like E3, why I tune in every year. Because after the Square Enix press conference, I'm like, I'm not watching the press conferences right away. I'm just going to read the bullet points. Like, no, I'm going to continue to watch press conferences every year, because I think what some companies lose sight of is that even if you set expectations, even if you're Capcom and say, hey, this is what we're showing, people don't believe you. You bring the big guns to E3. People know that E3 is where you're trying to show everybody what you have in the upcoming years. Like, there's a history to it. There's a longevity. There's a lineage to E3. Like, if you're showing up, this is where you bring it. Like, you may have other presentations throughout the year, but you save the good stuff for E3. And it doesn't matter what you say before. And if you say, hey, this is all we're showing, people are going to expect a one more thing. Or people, if you sneak it in there, even if you just have no prior announcements, but you say, hey, this is only 20 minutes long, people are going to expect a pretty goddamn good 20 minutes. And that's not what the other conferences, barring some good stuff from Microsoft, really brought this year. But Nintendo did. I really think they did. Yeah, they didn't melt my face off, because that would require them to show both Bayonetta 3 and Metroid Prime 4 in one press conference. But like I said, they said, hey, they're still coming, at least on the Metroid side. And they just had something for everybody. Are you a fighting game fan? Do you play Smash Brothers? They gave you Kazuya. Are you a silly games fan? Here's Mario Party and Wario and Monkey Ball. Are you, I'm looking at this, a racing fan, Cruising Blast. Are you more of a hardcore old school gamer? Here's Metroid, Advance Wars, Fatal Frame, Shin Megami. There was something for every level of gamer here, and they all look cool. Old series, new twists on old series. This is how you do E3. They were quick, concise. They didn't show 20 minutes of gameplay like at the Square Enix event of one game. They still announced Guardians of the Galaxy, by the way, just sneaking that in there. But yeah, this was great. I give this a 9.5. I'll give it, I'm going to give it, I don't know if this is a 9 or a 10 presentation. It's maybe right in the middle, a 9.5. I have no flaws in it. There was no point where I was standing up screaming. I knew Shin Megami 5 was coming, but man, I didn't expect it to look so cool. But yeah, a shotgun blast of joy, just energy, good vibes. Switch has plenty of juice left. No Switch Pro, which I kind of talked about a lot in the prior video, but like it's coming. And if they showed it off for like a half hour today or whatever, they wouldn't have as much time to show all the games that they did. So, you know, E3 is games, games, games. Hardware, you know, whatever. They can announce that at their own event some other time. I'm just sick of hearing Switch Pro rumors. But yeah, that kind of does it for my wrap up on Nintendo's presentation for E3 2021. I loved it. I really did. None of my crazy dreams came true, but they gave me a lot of stuff that I didn't know I wanted. It was no one thing. It was just a bunch of little great things stacking on top of each other. So please, if you've listened to this whole thing, thank you so much. And let me know what you thought of this, what you're expecting from Nintendo, what you thought of E3 as a whole. Check out my other videos, please, on Capcom and Square Enix and all that, where I rant and rave. And please join me next time as I continue to talk about my love of games from both Nintendo and other companies. Thank you so much for hearing me rant and ramble for so long and joining me on this video. My name is Mike. This has been Chip Damage, and please take care of yourselves. Good night.